Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and for the first time ever, PokeMMO is hosting its own official Shiny Wars. Now, I'm lucky, okay? I've been doing Shiny Wars for the past 3 or so years now. I have a lot of experience with this kind of event, and hopefully I can offer up some of that expertise to you guys, to anyone wanting to participate and try hard and go really hard and be a top-tier Shiny Hunter and participate in Shiny Wars. Hopefully, this is the video for you. Welcome to my How to Prepare for Shiny Wars guide. Now, some of this stuff is going to specifically pertain to the official Shiny Wars, but there are tons of unofficial Shiny Wars that are also hosted by tons of fantastic Shiny hunting teams around PokeMMO. So if you're in one of those, there should be some really good tips in here for you as well. I think it's really important to talk about. Shiny Wars isn't just a video game competition. It honestly ends up leaking into IRL, and it becomes a mental battle and a mental grind. I know that sounds very dramatic, but I think of it as similar to something like RuneScape, where RuneScape is a very mental game, and pushing through when you don't want to push through and keeping fighting and kind of grinding is honestly one of the biggest battles of RuneScape. It's kind of like going to the gym. Not every day you want to go to the gym, but you almost never feel bad when you leave the gym, right? Not every day you want to go, but you still go, you get it done because you have an overarching goal that you want to achieve. And that's honestly what Shiny hunting and Shiny Wars can be a lot of the time. It's a mental test to push your limits, and it's a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and cover the first thing you got to do for Shiny Wars. For this specific one, this is specifically for official Shiny Wars, you have got to clear your schedule and set timers for the sign-up date, guys. The sign-up date is at a very specific time. Let's actually go ahead and find it on the forum post here really quickly. I think it's July 15th. Let's just control F and look up sign up. The signups will open 1 week before the event starts. The 15th of July at midnight UTC, which I think ends up being like 8 p.m. ET. Double check that. Please don't take my word for that. If you go Google, X time zone to midnight UTC, you'll get a nice little time conversion for you there. Signing up for the event, first come, first serve, is the most important thing. Only 50 teams are going to be able to sign up. So making sure you find a group of people, find that team, and then actually be able to sign up. We really don't have much. Honestly, the biggest downside is we don't have that much time to put together a team. It's tough because they didn't want to give us that much time ahead of time to know about the event. So we can't like prep ahead of time that much, like make eggs, buy fossils, mysterious balls, etc., etc. But it is one of the biggest negatives that we don't really have that much time to actually put together a squad of 25 people. So it's kind of tough to actually be able to get that all together, but we have to try our best, right? And if you're looking to find a team, you can look in my Discord, and there's also a forum post linked here. If you're trying to find a team, this forum post will be linked in the description as well. If it's not, make sure to yell at me. But signups for start on 15th of July at midnight UTC, so just keep that in mind. That's like the most important thing. Make sure you sign up. Pre-type your forum message to make sure you're super, super prepared for that. All right. Next up, back to the forum post, strategize your game plan. I don't think nearly enough people are looking over the tier chart and actually making a game plan. I myself will probably be going for mostly tier 0 shiny hunts. I'm probably mostly going to be egging, and then in my off time, I might end up going for like a tier 6 or a tier 5, tier 4, some sort of like ×5 horde. Something like that is probably going to be the best plan. I think doing ×5 hordes with Leppas alongside tier 0 rare eggs is going to be my best bet. So I'm going to be personally egging for things like Alomola, Dino. I'm going to be going hard into Porygon because it's a genderless egg, which is really, really important, which means it's faster to egg than the other Pokemon. I'll be doing some Shedinja encounters. There's one more. Rotom is on this list as well. I'll be doing Rotom, another really, really good genderless shiny. So browse over this, figure out what shinies you like. Number one, I mean that's important. It's important if you're not shunting a shiny that you actually like, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna lose motivation. You have to be shiny hunting a Pokemon that you actually want to own as a shiny and not just something for the event, if that makes sense. So strategizing, picking your game plan, actually figuring out what you want to prioritize. If you want to do an egg hunt, figure out which high point egg hunts there are, because some of the egg hunts they're not equal, right? If you go over to it again, like Cranidos. Cranidos is a tier 1 egg hunt, which means you would only get, quote unquote only, 25 points for it versus the 30. Now, for example, if I really, really wanted a Cranidos, it's worth to go for that because that moral victory or that emotional victory of really wanting Cranidos is going to carry me through, even though it's worth 5 less points. So try to find something at tier 0 that you do want to actually hunt. If you can't find anything, go to tier 1. You probably don't want to be hunting tier 2 if possible, especially via eggs. But yeah, strategizing your game plan is going to be super important. I don't think people have browsed over the tier chart nearly enough. Next up, prep and alt accounts. If you have 2 devices, that would be great. If you don't have 2 devices to play at the same time, that's okay. Having some sort of alt account for a couple different reasons. So you could have an alt account if you have multiple devices to multi-log. You could have an alt account at Dittos, like farming Dittos for you while playing the event, which is super important. Or just doing any other money-making method so that you can afford your own Ditto boxes on your main account is super, super nice. Payday pickupping on an alt account is going to be absolutely massive. Or just using your alt account to store Dittos and Ditto boxes for your main account to actually farm shinies on. Now, you cannot, by the rules, from my understanding, we'll actually go check the forum post, double check it. From my understanding, you cannot control F4 account. Nope, doesn't come up. Let's do alt. Let's see. Not really seeing much, but from my understanding, you can't shiny hunt on 2 accounts. You can't like shiny hunt on 2 accounts for this event, but you can use, let's see if we can find it. One per, let's see, what if we do control F character? Players can only participate in this event with 1 character. Anyone found to be breaching this will be DQ'd from the event and future events. So from my understanding, it means you can still use alt accounts, I believe. You can still use alt accounts to actually like help you store Pokemon, etc., etc. But you can't actually like shiny hunt on alt accounts, if that makes sense. So you can't like sign two characters that you own up for the event and then shiny hunt on 2 different devices, if that makes sense. But I believe you still can use one of the characters to, like, you know, make money for you, catch Dittos, and store Pokemon for you. That's my understanding. I can even double check with Park on that, but that's my understanding. So alt accounts are going to be super, super helpful and super, super important. You really only need them with like 1 region done, honestly. Now, next up, prepping materials. Buying stuff ahead of time. Things like Leppas, they're going up in price. Things like shiny charms. You don't need to like overpay for shiny charms, don't worry, because they're at a pretty static value because of RP. Things like donator statuses. I need to pick up donators, don't remind me. I need to go spend like 5 mil Pokeyen on donator statuses. Ditto boxes, stocking up on Ditto boxes before the event happens. Expert lures, if you're going to be doing any sort of single encounter shunting, a swarm Pokemon, flame body Pokemon to be able to hatch your eggs. Prepping materials in game is all super, super, super important. Next up, clear your box space ahead of time. This is one of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give people. Look how I've prepped stuff. Clear your boxes ahead of time. I've been selling stuff. I've been clearing box space. My boxes are usually super, super full. I've been kicking my butt into high gear trying to sell stuff. Now, these are a bunch of like rare egg hunts or whatever I'll use, but I've been organizing my boxes for the first time in way too long because of how important this is. So organizing your boxes ahead of time is going to save you so much of a headache, so much stress during the actual event itself. It's going to save you so much pain in the butt. Avoid that. Clear your boxes ahead of time. And then buy Dittos. We already talked about that. Buy Dittos ahead of time. But make eggs ahead of time. This is one of the most powerful things. I haven't done it yet, but I'll be doing it before the event starts. Make your eggs, guys. Your boxes should be full of as many eggs as possible before the event starts. A shiny Pokemon from an egg, its catch or hatch location is from the time you hatch it, not the time you create it, right? So what you can do is you can pop donator status, pop shiny charms, make 15 boxes, 25 boxes, whatever, full of eggs before the event even starts, and then hatch those eggs during the event. And I talked about this during Team Mr. Shiny Wars. Eggs are one of the most beautiful things. During a long Shiny War, having eggs is one of your most important resources because hatching eggs represents a break. When you are shiny hunting 10 plus hours a day for 2 months, this is a 2-month long event. Like, a full batch of eggs equates to 6 hours of AFKing and, like, playing Elden Ring DLC. Or AFKing and relaxing and watching some anime or movie or TV show, right? Like, eggs represent a break. Eggs are so AFK and so chill. You're able to just like throw them, you know, all 5 into your party and then just like walk away from your screen for 5 minutes. You could go exercise, you could go stretch, you could go, you know, make dinner. Like you could do stuff with eggs that represent a mental break, and a mental break when grinding for so much is one of the most valuable things. Like it is unbelievable how much of a relief and how much you'll appreciate having those eggs. Next up, slowly buying fossils. Fossils have started to creep up in price. I thankfully I've just slowly buy fossils all the time due to how I personally play the game. Slowly stocking up on fossils and mysterious balls if that's something that's in your game plan. That's not going to be for everybody. If that's something that fits into your game plan, you probably want to be slowly buying and stocking up on fossils and mysterious balls. It's going to be super, super important. There's only so many fossils that come into the game every day. It's really, if you can't really go to the GTL and go buy 1,000 of like the fossil you want. There's just not that many. Like, look, there's stacks of 1 and 1-to-1. Like, there's maybe 500 or less. Yeah, there's probably 300 or less. There's literally probably 300 or less Helix fossils on the GTL. That's less than 1 hour. Like, you can pop like 400 or something fossils per hour with custom strings. This is just not even, you just can't get enough. You can never have enough fossils. Speaking of custom strings, I actually didn't have this written down, but if you're participating in Shiny Wars, you better have custom strings or you are putting yourself at such a disadvantage. It's not even funny. Go get custom strings ASAP. It is a requirement for being competitive when it comes to egg hunting, fossil hunting, any sort of rare hunting. You see how when I heal my Pokemon, I like ditch all this text? That's because of custom strings. It saves me time. It saves me a lot of time. That's really it. Custom strings are a must. If you're going to be participating in Shiny Wars, you better have custom strings or you're putting yourself at such a massive disadvantage. It's not even funny, unfortunately. So go Google updated custom strings guide PokeMMO. If you can't find it, yell at me in the comments. I will link it to you guys. Custom strings are they're so ridiculously important. Buying PC expansion drives is also pretty helpful if you don't have them. I obviously have a ton. PC expansion drives are going to help you kind of go for that clearing of box space, and you can also use alt accounts. So if you don't have the Pokeyen for PC expansion drives, if you're hurting between buying Ditto boxes and PC expansion drives, use alt accounts. You want to save as much Pokeyen as possible to go for those Dittos. Dittos will probably be rising in price as well throughout this event, so keep an eye on that. I'm honestly picking up Dittos whenever I can for like less than this is a total prediction, so do not take what I say here as fact. This is just a personal prediction that I'm making. It wouldn't surprise me if Dittos reach like 5k during this event. I've seen it happen before during big events like this. I think people are going to need so many Dittos. If you're a Ditto farmer or a moneymaker, this event has so much potential for you to make Pokeyen. Go abuse that fact. It's going to be really, 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 really good, guys. Okay, anyways, next up, IRL preparation. I talked about it being not just a video game event, but also an IRL like testing of your limits. There are a few things that I always do to prepare for Shiny Wars. Now, due to it being a 2-month event as opposed to a 1-week event, there's less you can do to, I mean, there's still stuff you can do to prep, but not for as much, if that makes sense. You can't, like, for example, you can't food prep or meal prep for 2 months, right? Unless you're like freezing stuff. If you want to do that, you're a beast. I respect it. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to do a big grocery haul. Food prepping as much as possible, having frozen food, easy to eat meals. You don't want to be like spending 2 hours to like cook a 3-course meal if possible. Throughout Shiny Wars. Now, if you want to do it here and there to, I don't know, spend time with your wife or spend time with your partner, or it's fun, you enjoy cooking, obviously, you know, it's important to take breaks and do what you enjoy throughout Shiny Wars. It's a 2-month competition. Keeping your sanity is very important to keep up the grinding. But food preparation is very important. Caffeine preparation. If you don't use caffeine, that's awesome. I'm very happy for you. I think a lot of us do. So stocking up on coffee, stocking up on energy drinks, soda. I recommend something that I've learned. I'm a huge advocate of healthy caffeine consumption. So I'm a huge advocate of 300 milligrams or less 5 days a week of caffeine. That's what I do personally. Go consult your doctor. Everybody's different. Everybody's different hearts. I don't know your heart history. I don't know your family history. Please, 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 please go talk to your doctor. I am a goddamn Pokemon MMO YouTuber for God's sake. Like, don't take my health advice. But personally, what I do is 300 milligrams of caffeine 5 days a week, and then I take 2 days either off of caffeine or I do like 60 milligrams or less, like one soda. So caffeine is important to a lot of people. I think doing it healthily is really important. Now, I can safely say never ever go over 400 milligrams in a day. That's the like FDA recommended limit here in the US. Never ever do that. And then It's also important to note that when you're doing long grinding sessions, like there was a time during a shiny war where I miscalculated. Like I was awake for like 18 hours or something like that, and then I only slept for like 4, or there was some weird thing where I actually ended up drinking like way more, like 600 milligrams caffeine in a day on accident because I lost track of time. So don't do that. Keep track of like when you drink the energy drinks, not on what day, because if you drink one at like 8 p.m. and then like wake up the next day and have one at like 8 a.m., like it's, you know, it's going to overlap. So just be careful about that. Be safe. And continuing the being safe train, guys, stretch and have an exercise plan. This is what I do personally. You should be getting up to stretch minimum every 3 hours for 5 minutes, probably more. I have been some of the healthiest. I know it seems insane, like, oh, shiny hunting for, 10 plus hours a day for 2 months. Some of the healthiest I've ever been in my entire life is doing video game competitions, specifically during like old school RuneScape fantasy EHP, which is like fantasy sports for skilling nerds. I've been the most healthy in my life because every hour or every like 2 or 3 hours, I would get up, I would like go do curl ups, go do push ups, go do tricep dips, like go do all these, like jog in place, like do all these things. Have a small exercise plan to do every 3 hours, and you could actually end up like being pretty physically healthy while doing really intense competitive gaming. It doesn't take that much time to actually like exercise enough to be healthy enough, enough, quote unquote. It's more like energy. Energy is the hard thing. So just try to get yourself, and it'll give you the energy to help you. It's worth it. Exercise a little bit. Make sure to stretch, guys. Don't just sit in your chair for 24 hours straight. Okay. Final thing. Just another thing. I'm a huge advocate of responsibly gaming for 10 plus hours a day. Don't let the masses, like, you can do it. I know it sounds insane. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's do it healthily, guys. Let's game a ton though. Final tip, get your sleep. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you stay up for 48 hours and you burn yourself out or get sleep deprivation headaches for the rest of the event, it's not going to actually be worth it. The winners of this event, in my opinion, will most likely be a team of players who play 10 to 16 hours a day and then sleep 8 hours a night consistently. Getting your sleep is very, very, very important. Especially like in a 2-month competition. In a 1 week long competition, you can kind of be a little unhealthy. It's okay to be unhealthy for a week. That's, but like 2 months, man, you got to get your sleep, guys. Obviously, depending on who you are, talk to your doctor, all that, qualifications. Some people need 6 hours. Some people need 8. Dude, I honestly need like 10 hours of sleep sometimes. Like I need my beauty sleep. It depends on who you are. Get your sleep, guys. Don't skimp on your sleep too much. I want to advocate for healthy but extreme grinding. All right. That is everything I wanted to talk about. Hopefully some of this helps you guys. Hopefully it is, enjoyable. Have fun. Have responsible, I know, boring. Have responsible, crazy, fun, shiny hunts. Go, go, go. You guys can do it. And I wish you guys the best of shiny luck. Shiny hunting really comes down to so much dedication, long-term hard work, and it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of hard work, and you just hope the stars align, and then hopefully you turn out good on the other end. Thank you guys for watching. If this video was helpful, make sure to leave a like on it, dislike if it wasn't, subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos, follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Friday, usually at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that, and if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo are down below if my content has helped you out enough, or it's been good background content you've enjoyed while grinding in PokeMMO. That's it for me. Have a great day. Good luck on your shunts, guys, and peace, Areno.